Another passage that we meditate upon in the light of the resurrection can be found in Luke chapter 24. This is only found in Luke chapter 24, and it's the disciples on the road to Emmaus. Try to imagine this scene. These two disciples are walking away from Jerusalem. They're sad, they're disheartened, they're disoriented, they're depressed, they're confused, they don't understand what happened Good Friday. They're walking away from Jerusalem. They're walking away from the church. And as they walk and talk and debate among themselves, not fully understanding the mystery of the Passion of Christ, this stranger comes and walks with them. Who is this stranger? This stranger they don't recognize is Jesus Christ. He walks with them. He listens to them. He talks to them. There are many beautiful messages we can have in this. First is that we often do not recognize Jesus Christ in our midst. The second is that Jesus listens to them. In your prayer, you should always be aware of the fact that Jesus is a very attentive listener. He listens to you very attentively. He understands you. He loves you. He wants to support you. So these disciples open up their hearts and they just, so to speak, spill their guts. They tell the Lord everything that's going on in their hearts. Their sadness, their depression, their lack of understanding this mystery. Jesus listens attentively. And as he listens attentively and he allows them to finish their speaking, and you can always talk to Jesus Christ, he's never in a hurry. Then he enters in and he speaks. And he explains the Paschal mystery. He explains these biblical verses of the Old Testament that referred to him. And their hearts are changed from sadness, depression, discouragement. Their hearts are filled with joy and filled with hope. And as they're walking, their hearts are filled with the fire of love. They arrive at their destination, which is the town of Emmaus. And Jesus is going to walk on, but they say, Lord, stay with us. Stay with us because the night is coming. And they invite Jesus to sit down at table with them. When he sits down at table with them, he does an extraordinary thing. He takes bread, he breaks the bread, he blesses the bread, and he gives it to them. In that moment, they recognize Jesus in the breaking of the bread. What had happened that moment was Jesus was celebrating the second Mass for these disciples. Then he disappeared from their presence. And they got up and they returned to Jerusalem. And they were filled with joy. They were filled with joy. They wanted to communicate the good news that Jesus Christ was truly risen from the dead. And when they saw the apostles, they said that Jesus was really risen from the dead. And they said, didn't our hearts burn within us as he explained the Word of God for us? So my friends, this is a beautiful contemplation. The disciples on the road to Emmaus. So you walk with Jesus. You listen to Jesus. You talk with Jesus. You sit down at the table with Jesus. And also remember, he took bread, he blessed it, he broke it, and he gave that to them. Of course, my friends, this is the center of our Catholic faith. It is the great gift of the Eucharist. You are invited to contemplate Jesus Christ and to meditate upon him in the Word of God, but you're all called to receive him in the depths of your heart. So rejoice, because Jesus Christ has truly risen, and he wants to rise in your very heart.